Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, episodes 11 through 13. Yeah, we're finishing off the series this week, just like we did with Pop Team Epic, but for different reasons. With Pop Team Epic, I wanted to finish off the series because I couldn't put myself through a lot of that for more weeks. I just needed to get that done and over with. With She-Ra, it's more of a time-based thing, for one. And for two, it's also along the lines of, I really just want to, I want to see how this ends. Like, really badly. Time-based because with the new year and everything, we're keeping our daily schedule, but we do have some new stuff coming up for this anime season, and I want to be able to have at least one available spot open. Now, I had originally said I wasn't going to really try to replace anything on Sunday with anything else at the moment, but in case I need it at the moment, is what I'm saying. Because I don't know how we're going to end up scheduling stuff for the new anime season's content. And again, I don't know for sure what I'm watching yet. I mean, I know the 4 shows that I'm going to be checking out, but I don't know for sure what I'll be watching, like, full time. And again, it's very likely that I'll watch Mob Psycho Season 2 and Kakegurui XX all the way through. That's very likely, but you never know. Either way, so yeah, those are the 2 big reasons I want to finish this today. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this ends. Last we left off, they had rescued Glimmer and Bow and all from the Horde, and Glimmer's been glitching. She has had these glitches caused from Shadow Weaver's machine, and it's really it's really dealing a number on her, because it's messing with her ability to teleport naturally, as well as like giving her legitimate pain every time it happens. Her mother does know about it now, and last episode we also got a little bit with that. We found out more about her mother's own feelings regarding things, about how her mother actually has a bit of a complex herself, blaming herself for her husband's death back in the original war, which is really fantastic. I like that the Queen is being given this development and character to her, because honestly, up to this point, the Queen has been kind of just this mother figure. And I mean, yes, she's Glimmer's mother, and being a mother figure is not necessarily bad for a character, but she needed more to her. She needed actual character to her, and I feel like this is going in the right direction. In the meantime, Entrapta is now, I guess, working with Catra and Scorpia, because I was right, and she didn't die, which was super obvious. So I don't know how long that's going to last. As I said, I believe I said last time, I do know the title of the last episode. But I don't know any details about it. I mean, it kind of goes where I thought it was going to go anyway, so it's not a big deal. At least title-wise. I can guess it's going to go where I originally kind of thought it was going to go. So I'm excited to see how it gets to that point. We still have 2 more episodes before that. So it's really hard to say. I don't know what either or what any of these 3 episodes are going to be about. I don't know what their titles are. I mean, other than the last episode. I don't know what they're going to focus on. The very last thing we left off on was Adora kind of going off on her own to try and basically find herself, kind of figure out who she's meant to be, who She-Ra is meant to be, and she's in the forest and she's found herself back to that pillar of the Ancient One's tech. But Catra is following her. Catra was also in the forest and ended up spying her, and yeah, this should be interesting. Because Catra's either going to continue watching her, or is going to outright attack her. And I'm interested to see how this goes. So we're just going to get this started. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. And just a note, if I do sound really tired, I had just recently woken up, so that's why. Excuse me. Wow. But yeah, so that's why I might sound a little tired right now. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in, and we're just going to get this started. So yeah, thank you, and see you all at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, that's all we've got for at least this season of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So, very good end. I like how it ended on this big militaristic battle. I think that was where this entire season was honestly heading. I felt it was obvious that this was going to end with a big battle between the Horde and the princesses. With the entire concept of the season and its plot being forming this Princess Alliance, yeah, there was no other way they could finish this off than with having the Princess Alliance be tested and have them come together with this big battle to truly, like, cement their, well, alliance. So yeah, it made the most sense that the Battle of Bright Moon is exactly how this would have concluded. But I like that the main villain of this season wasn't actually the main villain of the series. See, Hordak, Lord Hordak, is the main villain of the series for sure. He's who they're kind of building up to. The main villain of Season 1 was clearly Shadow Weaver. And I think of Season 2, it's probably going to be moving to Catra. She's going to go over from more of a major antagonist to the main antagonist of the season. She's going, now being the second in command of Lord Hordak, is going to give her a lot more room to, well, act upon her abilities, act upon her intelligence, her alliance with Scorpia and Entrapta, as well as have a lot more to work with, being second in command. So there's going to be a lot that they're going to be able to do with her going in. Now, I had said that I believe that she is going to be redeemed at some point, and I still believe that. I believe that this season definitely set a lot of that in motion, especially the Promise episode. But I also think that it's not going to rush into something like that. Catra, her redemption needs to be earned. It needs to take time. Having it done in one season would feel kind of cheap. So they're taking the time and giving the effort to it to make it worth it. I don't even know if it's going to happen in Season 2. But, I mean, it could. But if it did, it would happen at the end. Right now, my big theory for how this is going to go, at least my thoughts, just based on what we've got so far. Obviously, Season 1 had Shadow Weaver as the main bad guy, moving into her fall from grace and Catra taking over. Season 2 is going to have Catra as the main antagonist, but in the end, she's going to end up turning on Hordak and either joining the side of the princesses, or she's going to go neutral. And then Season 3 will have Hordak as the main villain. And he's actually going to get his time to shine. That's my guess. And probably sometime, if this kind of thing goes like this, then Catra would eventually join the good guys in Season 3 if she did go neutral in Season 2 at the end. That would be my guess, at least. But as for these 3 episodes specifically, I just really thought they were a fantastic way to end off this series. There's not really a lot to talk about with Promise. I mean, a lot of people would probably disagree on that, but Promise was just a little blast from the past episode. It was not like a blast from the past from what we saw, but from what we didn't. It was basically establishing how Adora and Catra became as close friends as they had, and why Catra finds Adora leaving her as such a big problem, and why it's fueling her to be so loyal to the Horde. Because the promise that was made was that Adora would basically always be there for her. And Catra feels like she broke that promise. So she feels betrayed. And that's fueling her fire. The episode also gave us a little bit of Adora figuring out like who she and She-Ra is supposed to be, but that really came more in episode 12. Other than really the entire stuff with Adora and Catra's past, though, Promise didn't really have a lot else to discuss. It was just like, oh, that's cool. That's where they came from. We see how they grew up. And it's like, it's not really anything surprising. It's like, yeah, that's how I would have expected them to have grown up in the Horde. So, nothing really to discuss. Light Hope had Adora learning more about what it means to be She-Ra and learning about Mara. Mara was mentioned before by Razzle, or I think it's Razzle. Or maybe it's just Raz. Yeah, I think it's just Raz. Raz talked about Mara, who was the previous She-Ra. But apparently we find out that Mara kind of went bad. She broke the She-Ra line and went bad because of her own feelings regarding things. And because of that, Light Hope seems to believe that feelings and everything are unnecessary and that She-Ra should only be focusing on training to save the world and stuff, and be putting aside, feelings and whatnot. And as I said during the reaction, that kind of reminds me of the Jedi from Star Wars. The Jedi have this kind of belief that like, Jedi can't get married, Jedi can't, they can't have children or anything, they can't give in to fear and whatnot, because all of that will just lead to the dark side in their eyes. And it's just this really ridiculous argument that has never held water to me, and it basically makes them come across as obnoxious levels of controlling and just really, really bad. Like, I've never liked the Jedi, believe it or not. I have never liked the Jedi outside of course, a few specific characters. I've always found the Jedi to just be self-destructive in their own beliefs. Not that I necessarily think that the bad guys are any better. The Empire or the First Order or whoever the bad guys are at the time are still bad guys. But it's like, there's a reason the Jedi fell. And it's because of their own beliefs, their own ways of doing things. And I think that that's kind of the same here. You see, the reason I feel that the She-Ra line fell, the reason that Mara did all this, was probably because these kinds of beliefs and all were probably in place before as well. And it drove Mara crazy. And we see that Adora, she's not like that. And we see that she's willing to do what she knows needs to be done to protect both her friends and Etheria. That she has to serve everyone. And I like that idea a lot more. And of course, the Battle of Bright Moon, we had the Battle of Bright Moon. One big thing to note is that we did find out the entire planet of Etheria is First One's tech. The First Ones that were apparently these aliens, basically, for lack of a better term. They were intergalactic people from beyond the stars, so they're aliens. And they apparently created Etheria. The entire thing is First One's tech, and it's controlled by the runestones. So if the runestones are affected, if all their powers are fed to one, like was trying to be done here, and then destroyed, then that one runestone would have control over the entire planet, which would obviously be very bad. I'm just wondering, there's a lot more information regarding this that I feel we don't know about the First Ones, about the fact that this is like this. And exactly, like, how is Eternia connected? Because Eternia is mentioned in this series, but they're on Etheria and everything. And I mean, I'm not versed in the, like, original He-Man and She-Ra stuff. I never got into it as much. I watched it occasionally, but I could not tell you much of anything about it. I do not know the lore surrounding it or whatnot. I don't know how it connects with different areas or whatnot. They did mention Mara brought the planet to a different dimension or something. I think that's what was said. So maybe Eternia is where the planet originally was or something, or maybe that's where the First Ones come from. Something like that. Otherwise, I have no idea. Maybe we'll find out. I mean, I hope we find out in the future seasons. But yeah, I really liked the part in the final episode, though, when they did all start coming. All the princesses, one after another. We had Spinnerella and Natasha, who finally got their time to shine, after being basically background characters for the rest of the series. We had everyone else come. Mermista and Seahawk came together. We had Perfuma. We had Frosta. The only one who, obviously, like I said, who wasn't there was Entrapta. And I don't think they know yet that Entrapta's alive. I don't think they actually know that yet. So it's interesting. That's, I feel, going to be a bigger plot point in Season 2 with them finding out. Yeah, it was just, these were a really good few episodes to end things off on. Now, like I said in the pre-thoughts, the reason I was choosing to do the final 3 episodes, all 3 today, is because I wanted to free up some space. At least that's one of the reasons, obviously. Just in case we need it on Sundays for one of the new shows. As you know, for this season of anime, there are a few new shows coming out that I want to check out. Maybe not watch all the way through or react to all the way through, but we'll see how that goes. As I said, Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 and Kakegurui XX are definitely the top 2 for me. Excuse me. I felt that coming. I knew that was coming. Those are definitely the top 2 in terms of what are most likely going to continue to be reacted to and all. But Promised Neverland and Boogie Pop Phantom, you never know. They could end up being surprisingly better than I could ever have imagined. So we'll see what happens when we get to those. I mentioned before, like the other day, that Boogie Pop Phantom's first 2 episodes are already out. I'll probably get to it at the beginning of this next week. I'll do the first episode as the preview reaction for the Winter 2019 anime season, and then we'll start getting to the other stuff as it comes out. I don't know exactly how I'm going to organize this with getting them up. We'll just kind of have to see. But that's, as I said, one of the reasons why I wanted to free up space on Sunday, just in case, if we do need it. But yeah, so She-Ra is over for now. I don't know exactly when Season 2 will come, but I'm excited for it for when it does. In the meantime, tell me what you thought of these final 3 episodes of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and what you thought of, well, the series or the season rather, as a whole. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,